a mob of the political party ruling Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, led by its chief minister, attacked the federal capital.
They wanted to shut down the whole country.
This was not a peaceful protest. It was a violent mob supported by the official resources of the provincial government.
They created fake news about the number of deaths. They created horrifying thumbnails for their YouTube channels. 278 लोग इन्होंने सीधे गोलियां मार के शहीद किए.
It was all fake.
Fake things were spread as real and it created unrest among society.
PTI also has to do some soul searching as to where it wants to lead this nation and where it wants to lead its own people.
November 26th, 2024, a day that rattled the very core of one of the most serene capitals of the world. A violent mob storming through, a city engulfed in fear, and a nation standing on the precipice, questioning its fate. But what truly transpired at the edge of all that chaos? Across most parts of Pakistan, November 24th dawned just like any other day. But one place in the country was abuzz with early morning activity. Hasty preparations were underway, but sadly, not for peace.
A huge crowd came from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. They were super aggressive, shouting slogans, carrying weapons.
Islamabad High Court did not permit these protesters to enter Islamabad.
That attack claimed lives of 4 ranger troops and 1 policeman. And that attack was latest in a series of attacks this party has waged against the centre.
This was not the first time that one of the country's leading political figures, former Prime Minister Imran Khan, had made this call. November 24th, it was the final call. The government offered peace and negotiation, but nothing could halt the momentum.
जो खान साहब के कपड़ों से भी ज्यादा करीब है वो भी आइंदा 24-36 घंटों में आपको नजर आ जाएगा. जो बैठी हुई पार्टी है वो भी ये कर रही है. जो मिनिस्टर, चीफ मिनिस्टर है, जो मिनिस्टर्स है, जो एमएनएज हैं, जो सेनेटर्स हैं, वो क्या कर रहे हैं? मतलब इसमें कोई रॉकेट साइंस की जरूरत नहीं है ना.
हम वापस नहीं आएंगे चाहे जो भी हो जाए.
सबने वहां पहुंचना है और उस वक्त तक वहां नहीं जाना जब तक हमारे मुतालबात पूरे नहीं होते.
The caravan, an unstoppable 10,000 to 12,000 strong force, set off the night before, on the 25th of November. Leading the charge was the recently released current wife of the former PM, Bushra Bibi, with reports claiming Afghan nationals had joined their ranks.
जो 35 अफगान शहरी हमने गिरफ्तार किए हैं, उनका क्या अंजाम होना है? जो 45 आपके हमने जदीद असला आपसे बरामद किया है, उसका क्या अंजाम होना है? इस दफा ये तमाम लोगों को सजाएं होंगी.
इंसानी जानों का ज़िया बचाने के लिए जो हमारी जिम्मेदारी है पुलिस की, अवाम नास के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की, हमने वो किया. और उसमें अगर कोई कहे कि पुलिस रेत की दीवार है, तो वो ये अपना हक रखता है.
Without much obstruction from the law enforcement personnel, the protesters marched on, finally reaching Islamabad. D Chowk, a red zone home to the Supreme Court, foreign embassies, and the parliament became the epicenter of chaos.
My office is hardly 5 minutes away from the protest site. On November 26th, the crowd took over Islamabad. Police just vanished and city was in chaos.
Hundreds of youth or thousands of youth came all around from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to the national capital while challenging the rate of the government. So it was obvious that there might be a clash. The leaders of PTI, including their chief minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa,
Ali Amin Gandapur, have been saying it on camera before journalists that they were going to invade Islamabad, the national capital, and they will by force break the jails and free former Prime Minister Imran Khan.
The politicians and the state could not resolve their differences through peaceful negotiations, but the violence was used at the end.
Meanwhile, Pakistan was hosting the president of Belarus, engaged in signing crucial agreements that would fuel the economy and benefit the nation. By the time they reached D Chalk, the police and rangers were on high alert. But the mob's strength, armed resistance, and sheer numbers took matters out of anyone's hands.
जब ये लाशों के काउंटिंग का मामला हुआ तो पिम्स एक हॉस्पिटल मैंने विजिट किया, वहाँ पे 2 लाशें आई हैं रात को और जो बुलेट वुंड्स हैं उनके। जब उनसे पूछा कि क्या आपको पता है कि ये धरने में से आए हैं, उन्होंने कहा जी अभी तक जब मैं आपसे बात करूँ ये अनक्लेम्ड है, सो हमें नहीं पता इनके लवाहिकीन कौन हैं।
This isn't the first time KP's leadership has clashed with the centre.
मेरे 170 जवान इस वक्त जख्मी हैं, जिसमें से कि 25 क्रिटिकल हैं। उनका स्कल फ्रैक्चर है, उनकी लेग फ्रैक्चर्स हैं, उनके कंधे फ्रैक्चर हैं। अटक पुलिस की तरफ से एक भी बंदा जख्मी नहीं है प्रोटेस्टर्स का, ये आप ऑन रिकॉर्ड है, किसी भी हॉस्पिटल में रिपोर्ट कर सकते।
Amidst the chaos, 2 policemen and 4 rangers lost their lives. The army chief and the Prime Minister attended their funeral prayers, sending a clear message: no action against the state would be tolerated. A little past midnight, D Chalk was cleared as the crowd was dispersed despite repeated warnings from the police. What the protesters may overlook is that the cost of such events ripples through the nation, leaving scars on its economy and its people. The stock market crashed instantly.
Every day is about 300 billion rupees, and if say half or a third of Pakistan is shut down, or even a quarter of Pakistan is shut down, then it's 75 billion rupees a day loss. So however many days Pakistan was shut down. The issue of course is more than that. Of course, Pakistan earned a bad name around the world, not just because of PTI protests, the dharna, but also because of the government's excessive response to that, which resulted in the deaths of many PTI protesters, and of course the day before the deaths of some law enforcement agency people also came about. So as a Pakistani, for me, whether it's the loss of Pakistanis on the PTI side or the loss of Pakistanis on the law enforcement side, it's a loss to Pakistan. And this is beyond the economic loss of few billion rupees a day.
It was a storm of social media frenzy, numbers inflated, truths twisted. The nation was left in shock as fake images of AI-generated photos of bloodshed spread like wildfire. It wasn't just the protesters, it was the deliberate attempts to pit the people against the security forces, incurring deeper damages.
It has claimed that a very large number of its followers were allegedly killed, but that claim so far has proven entirely untrue and baseless.
They created fake news about the number of deaths. They created horrifying thumbnails for their YouTube channels, and everybody has his own number of deaths.
Beside the disinformation, there was a flood of malinformation on the digital space, and almost it overcome the national mainstream media.
A plethora of lies were spread across Pakistan, and the fake news played a havoc in Pakistanis' lives.
Fake news does not only destabilize the peace, it brutally damages the country's reputation worldwide.
सबसे बड़ा जो पाकिस्तान को नुकसान हो रहा है वो जो फेक न्यूज़ की जो कैंपेन चलाई जा रही है, they are directly targeting the institutions.
As the dust settled, one truth remained clear. The power of social media is a double-edged sword. In a world where information travels at the speed of a click, media literacy is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Fact-checking must be prioritized. Those who thrive on clickbait should be held accountable. Laws should be made to check such activities.
I think there is a need for media literacy among people. and the social media should be used responsibly to create awareness among people, but not the fake news and distorted facts should be presented.
Political protesting is a democratic right, but it's time to ponder if it is acceptable at the hefty price of innocent lives, political stability, and national unity. It's time to choose progress, not chaos, unity, not division, and a bright future, not political agendas. It's time to remember that a democracy thrives on dialogue, not destruction.